Hi guys, and welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Pastor Zainab.
I'm Bishop Ozea.
And it is good to see you here. Thank you so much for coming here to watch our video today.
Mm.
If you're new, we want to tell you that we love you already. If you have not subscribed, please press the subscription button and make sure you like our video and also leave a comment. We'll be glad to read your comment today. And today, our video is a little bit funny, and you know, there are things that this guy told me, who happens to be my husband, and I said I'm gonna shoot a video about this guy, what he was actually thinking about me. So this video is entitled "What He Thought I Was," and I know, you know, I'm a pastor, so there are those people that follow me on social media platforms and especially Facebook. And before I got married, they knew me differently. And I remember the first video we shot on Facebook Live with my husband. They were like, no, we didn't know you're like that. So my husband today is going to tell us what he thought I was. And some of these things are so shocking. And babe, welcome to
Thank you.
welcome on set.
No problem.
Now, honey, there are things that you are just outlining. And I was thinking, how many more thoughts about me like that? Or how many things about you, what you are not? And they feel that is what you are, and they believe that is what you are. But when they come closer to you, they see a totally different person. And this video is going to help you not to judge people. I remember there's a time I hosted another preacher from Nigeria, and he came to my house. And the first day we had lunch with him in my house, because he was just in my house, you know. I was big. And now he had a room downstairs. So he told me, woman of God, there's something I want to tell you. And I'm like, go ahead. And he said to me, you know, I didn't know you're like this. I thought you were so tough. I thought you were like this, and you know, I was like, but why? He said, that is how we see you on social media. But when someone come close to you, they find you different. And this video is gonna help you not to judge people. Come close to them, get to know them, and maybe that one is gonna help you to treat them differently. So Bishop, you shocked me. You shocked me.
How?
You shocked me because I thought, man, you know, when God spoke to him that I'm gonna be his wife, he began following me so keenly on social media. And you know, he was like, yeah, this woman, huyu kanisa kwa wife yangu kweli, huyu anakaa hivi, huyu anafanya hivi. So let's hear from him. Karibu askofu.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to outline a few of them. What I learned later after I married you, and what I used to think before I married you. Now, one of the things I used to think before I married you, I used to think you're over spiritual.
I was over spiritual.
I used to think you live in the heavens, so you don't stay where normal people are.
What?
Yeah.
You used to think, you know,
by the kind of things you used to share and talk, you looked over spiritual. That means you don't live a normal life, meaning you don't eat, you don't go out, you don't allow fashion, those kind of stuff.
He thought I was over spiritual, guys. You know, I mean, he thought I was over spiritual. I don't know why, but okay. So, honey, what did you see after we got married? Because I know so many people think of others, you know, just the way you thought about me. Of course, I'm a spiritual person. I love spirituality, but my husband thought I was over spiritual. It's like I live in heaven. I go sleep there. I drop in the morning. I do my things and go back to heaven. Please, honey. Okay, what did you find out after that?
Okay, you know, everyone who is looking forward to get married or to marry, they want to have a life. And the life you want to have is here on earth. So here on earth, you do the things godly people do here on earth. So you would expect when you get married, you have fun, you're going out, you're cooking together, you're going for holiday. You're doing the stuff godly people do when they're on earth. So when you look at someone and you're thinking they're a spiritual, well, you're wondering, how are we going to live? Are we going to have fun? Will we go for holiday? Are we going to go for night outs? Are we going to go and have fun the way the world, the godly people in the world do? I'm not talking about worldly people, but godly people in the world too. So I would imagine, like, kinda, you look very spiritual, always talking about heaven, but we are here before we go there. So I thought you're over spiritual. You know, when we are here, Jesus said, I will pray that you don't be taken away from here, but I pray that you overcome. What Jesus was simply saying, before you come to where I am, you're on earth.
Yeah.
So you got to do the things people on earth do. You have to go do business, you have to make money, raise children, cook. These are the things people do here on earth. So you look like you lived in heaven.
I look like I lived in heaven.
You used to come in the morning and join us here.
So, honey, okay, now God spoke to you and told you this is my wife. This is your wife, sorry. So, when you approached me and you're trying to put me into your box, which eventually you did. Which eventually I'm inside. What did you find? Okay, in that spirituality, how did you find it when you came closer to me?
What I found out was very simple. As he tells us, never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
I discovered the content inside the book is not like the cover that is being displayed.
Wow.
Because what was being displayed on social media was completely different with the content I found inside the book. So when I met her, I realized she's not that of a spiritual person. She can laugh, she can have fun, she can bake, she can live life. Like all of us. So I discovered she's not what she appears on social media. She's not that of a spiritual person who lives in heaven and comes in the morning. But I realized, just like all of us who are spiritual, she's also spiritual and lives like all of us godly people here on earth. Because we are all spiritual people. We are born again. We love Christ. And we do the things that ought to be done when you're on earth. Because you have to live. So I discovered she's like all of us who are godly and who love Jesus, who are going to heaven and who are living life. So I discovered she's not that of a spiritual person.
Wow. You know, okay, so honey, what was on your mind? You're looking like this lady, if God said I should marry her, tutakuwa tunaomba kila saa, tutakuwa raba kila saa. Did it ever come to your mind? Did it ever come to your mind? Like every time we'll be praying, worshiping. Of course we do, but did you think,
do when we have to,
you think like it was something that I'm gonna be doing every time? Yeah.
That's of course when you look at someone as over spiritual, you're kinda like this one. When I start watching a funny video, she'll be like, that is worldly. I start watching a movie that is demonic.
That is demonic.
So that is what I meant by over spiritual. But I discovered she's not that. It's over spiritual. I discovered she loves fun. She would dance for you when you're in the bedroom. This one, she's not over spiritual. When she starts dancing, you realize she's not that over spiritual. I will do it.
Yeah, you know, when we got married, we went on honeymoon. So when we went to honeymoon, my husband was shocked. So I'm leaving the bedroom, you know, with of course my lingerie, and I was just dancing for him, and he was like, "What? You know, you can really dance." And I could see, like, he was like, "I didn't think you can be so funny."
Course.
So, honey, what else did you? What were you singing before we met?
I thought we would be singing worship the whole time in the house.
Yeah.
Discovered we can do love songs. And we sang a lot of love songs, which we still do.
When we went to honeymoon, my husband thought, hey, she's not going to name about worship, but we do worship. We truly do a lot of worship in the house. But this time, he thought when we go to honeymoon, he tried me, you know, with a love song. And that what is it?
That love song.
That love song was like the one he kept for me. And you know, when he began, you know, he played it. He was looking at me like, "Are you gonna enjoy this song?" And I said, I sang along.
She was actually teaching me the song, the words, the lyrics.
And I sang along, and my husband was like, "What?" You know, I think he began now getting comfortable. So, honey, what else did you see apart from over spirituality?
So that was number one.
That was number one.
She's not that of a spiritual girl. You think this one? She's a bad girl. Okay, number two. Number two.
What?
The image you portray on social media. She looked like one very arrogant woman.
Yeah.
Who had an attitude that you can't live with as a woman. But believe you me, when you come near her,
yeah, that is shocking. Did you hear?
You'll be shocked. She's not that arrogant. I know some of you watching, you're thinking the way I used to think.
Yeah.
But she's very arrogant. With a bad attitude, who doesn't know how to live with people.
Yeah.
But you'll be shocked. I've lived with her for a while now, And I can confirm something. She's not that arrogant woman.
You know, that reminds me of a guy who came on my social media one time. I did a political post. This guy said, "Wewe hata utaolewa na nani? Vile unakaa hivyo nani anaweza kukuoa?" And you know, sometimes these bullies that come on social media, sometimes you just ignore them. But when you come home, you're thinking like, when God, how do this foresee me? Like I can't be married. So I looked a little bit arrogant, you say, and okay.
That's the image.
Yeah.
And as I said, things are not always as they appear.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you look at something, what you see on the physical may not really be the case.
Yeah.
So I've learned this over time. Things are not always as they appear.
Yeah.
Just like when you're in the desert and you're walking, you will see a mirage on the horizon and you will think it's a pool of water.
Yeah.
But when you get there, you realize it was a reflection of the clouds.
Yeah.
The same way with life.
Yeah.
Not until you begin living with someone is when you begin to realize this person is not who I thought they were. So I came to discover she's not that arrogant woman.
Wow.
She's a woman who can live with people. She's a very humble woman. She's down to earth, who fears God, and who's also very sweet. She's a sweet woman with a sweet spirit.
Yeah.
I came to discover that is who she really is.
This is so, you know.
Not what really appears.
Wow.
So maybe that what you see on the outside is that look, we call it sura ya kazi. But when you come to sura ya nyumbani, she's a completely different,
you know, because I know someone also thought I couldn't get married because I looked so arrogant, you know, like I can tell you anything, you know, I don't care, who are you, you know, but in the contrary, that is not who I am. And when my husband began telling me this thing, I said, hey, this one I have to put it on a video because it was like, you are not the only person who thought so, honey. There are so many people who thought so before. And my husband keep on telling me, there are those men that maybe were afraid to approach you, but now they see a different person, you know, a different version of you.
you.
Yeah.
I thank God they saw you that way.
Really?
It was God's way of keeping you.
Really?
They would have snatched you before I arrived. So maybe God allowed them to see that image that was not really the case.
Yeah.
That's because He wanted to keep it from me. Could be that is why you loved that song.
Yeah.
You are the one He
kept for me. Wow.
So she's not that arrogant woman she looks like on social media. And that when you stay closer, she's completely different.
Wow.
It's a whole new. You wonder whether this is the one that I used to see. This one, that one. She's completely different.
This is so humbling.
Yeah.
So, okay, another thing.
All right. The other thing I used to think.
Yeah.
I think now this pastor, this woman of God, she doesn't look like she can make a wife. You know what I talk about wife?
I know, she was not like a wife material.
She doesn't look wife material.
Yeah.
Can she cook?
Yeah.
Can she make her husband some nice meal?
Yeah.
I never ate her meal.
Guys, let me tell you. Bishop, when we were dating, of course he used to visit me in my house. Can I tell you something I thought just the other day? I've never made tea for him. I've never cooked any meal for him. I didn't want to play a wife. I did not want to play a wife. So my house help used to do all these things. And I have never even thought that maybe Bishop could ask himself, do I know how to cook? And let's listen to him right now. He thought I could not, what is it?
You couldn't cook.
I couldn't cook.
Exactly.
Please stop.
So I never thought she would cook because I would visit her house. There are other people there, the house girl is there, the son is there, and other people from church, and we would eat together. But I never at one moment saw her cook. Even tea. Oh my goodness. Even pancake. Even serving, leave alone cooking. The whole thing would be done by the house manager. So I used to think, now this one, can she cook for her husband? Or I is just preaching the gospel. Jesus is coming. Repent, hell is real.
No.
But then I discovered later when we started living together. Oh my goodness, the first time she cooked, I even posted on social media.
I know, I remember the first, and I even remember what I cooked.
I couldn't imagine she
I know. I marinated some meat for you. I grilled the meat. Pan fried. It was pan fried meat.
I've never
and And roast potatoes.
It's stuck in my memory.
Yeah, amazing.
First impressions matter.
Wow. And vegetables.
So I discovered she's a very good cook.
Wow.
Extra.
Wow.
Good cook. I even wonder why she's not started a baking, either a bakery or an event thing for cooking, or something on YouTube for cooking, teaching people recipes, because she is a very good cook.
Thank you.
She can make some very nice music. I was telling her, make this your passion, turn it into money.
Yeah.
Because this your cooking is very nice.
Thank you, honey.
So she's a very good cook. She can bake cakes. She can do nice food. And when she does, everybody in the house that day,
I
my
know.
goodness,
They will all be waiting for mommy's food, you know.
There are things she cooks, I have no idea what they are made of, or from what, or from where. Got no idea, but they're very nice things. You know where she comes from? She once told me they were trained to cook 2 things.
Wow.
Which ones?
Baby.
Food for the stomach and food, some other kind of food. I'll tell you next time. So she's a very good cook.
Thank you. Guys, did you hear that? You know, I've always known that, you know yourself, But when actually, it's not only my husband, so many people. Even I remember there's a lady who came to my office. She's a church member. And she had never spoken to me. So one time she came to my office and I spoke to her. I prayed for her. I was listening. I really loved her. And before she left, she told, Mom, can I tell you something? I said, go ahead. She said, I didn't know you are this kind of a person. I've always looked at you as a very tough woman, a no-nonsense woman, you know, and you've really humbled me. She left and I was thinking, God, which kind of image is this that you gave me? But again, I love it because I don't even know that I'm like that. I truly don't. I hear people say. And so when my husband began outlining, I said, ebu nisikilize huyu jamaa. Kwa sababu there are some people out there, people are looking at you and maybe they are mistaking you. It is good for you to come closer to a person, for you to know that person.
Exactly.
What else, honey? I hope your voice is loud.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
They have to hear this.
Yeah.
So the other thing is very important.
Yes, honey.
So the other thing is, you know, every time a man wants to marry, the one of the things he looks at is whether the woman he will marry will be able to submit.
Wow.
Because the key number 1 to success in any marriage, whether you're born again or not, is whether a man can love, just as the Bible says, and a woman can submit. So when you look at a strong woman, many times you'll be wondering, now this one, will she be hard-headed or will she be able to submit? So I would not think maybe she would be able to submit as a woman. Because any man, every man, talk to any man, whether they are born again or not, the first thing they look for in a woman is whether she's a wife material, she can submit under authority. Because submission is not oppression or slavery. It is basically power under authority, whether that power can be harnessed and placed under authority. So that is one of the things I used to wonder, can she
submit?
And then I discovered later when we got married, this girl here, she's very submissive. And she loves Mary.
Wow, I do.
She's a good woman. Any man would want to live with as a wife.
Thank you.
So she knows how to submit.
Thank you.
She knows how to live under authority.
Wow.
And she acknowledges that the man is the king of that kingdom. He is the king over that kingdom and that clan, but he's a family. So that is what any man looks for. And believe you me, any man who've ever come close to her, maybe in ministry or in friendship, can agree with me on that point. She's a very nice person.
Thank you.
And I'm not flattering, I'm basically saying the truth.
Thank you. Wow, you know, and I know my husband told me the other day, I know there are men who look at, actually, there's a man who told us. There's a man who told us while I was with my husband. He said, he told me on phone, you were not there when I spoke to him. He said to me, hey, now you know, we are looking at you and you are wondering, is this really you? And he was telling me, hey, if Bishop plays around with you, he was just making fun. You will not sleep without a husband. Someone will just snatch you and run with you. And I was like, but why? I've always been here. I've always been here, and I've always been me. So I don't know, but my husband now made it open for me to understand that, you know, my image was totally different. Okay, and he talked to us.
Okay, maybe something else. I may not have very many, but the few I'm going to say are very, very articulate. Okay. So something else, you see, with spiritual people, and allow me to say this, especially believers, not many spiritual people live life, and I'll explain what I mean.
Okay.
Not many live life.
Yeah.
Many think so much about heaven, and they forget before you get to heaven, there is an earth, there is work you're supposed to do here, there are things you're supposed to be here. So most men will be thinking, now this one, she looks spiritual. Is she going to be the kind of woman I would want to have in terms of living in? For example, is she gonna be fashionable? You know, some women who are born again, Jesus and Lord have mercy. The things they wear, the kind of way they carry themselves, you would not want them to be your wife. Let me explain what I mean. You wouldn't be comfortable walking with them on the street, holding their hands, proud of them as your woman, as your wife. Because men want a woman who is fashionable, who knows how to take care of herself, who understands good grooming, who can make her hair, make her nails like this one. You see them? Make her nails, do some little touch up on your face, some painting in the house. Wear some cologne. Okay. So a man wants a woman he can be proud of. So many times when you look at someone who is spiritual, we are also spiritual. That is one of the questions we ask. Now this one,
is she gonna
will I be able to go with her somewhere and I'm proud of her?
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
I'm proud of her as this, as like I want to display her to the whole world. But I came to discover this girl.
Wow.
She's not only spiritual, but she's also a modern woman who understands good grooming and how to take care of yourself as a woman.
Wow.
Because most men, as many men, they will complain a lot about their women. But this one, this one.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
She's modern.
Thank you.
She's fashionable.
Thank you.
She understands the world we are in. She's upgraded. And I'm proud of her.
Thank you. You know, let me tell you, when someone tells you something you didn't know about yourself, you always want to know more. You're like, hey, maybe this is what even my followers, my friends on social media platforms think about me. And I mean, when I posted my first post with my husband, people couldn't believe it. They were like, what? You is this kind of a person? Because that is the time now we began coming live with marriage, you know, marriage tips and relationship tips, and they would look at me and wonder, kumbe unakuaga hivi? And nilishangaa hata mimi, because mimi nilikuwa nafikiria watu wananijua tu vile niko, but I didn't know. So you might be wanting to marry a lady and maybe unamuonea mbali, unamjajia mbali, unasema huyu atanichapa mangumi, huyu atakataa kusubmit, huyu hajui kupika. Me, let me tell you, it was not actually deliberate. I was not on purpose not to cook for him. For some reason, me sikuwahi pika. Do you know, let me tell you something. Maybe sijui, do you know there's a guy who wanted me, but I didn't know he wanted me. So one time he visited us in the house, and one time he told me, I've come to your house like twice. You can't even cook for me. I asked him, like, who? How can I even cook for you? And me, I was just joking, but I didn't know my husband, you know, yet that time he was my fiance. He looked forward to taste my meal. He looked forward to see how I serve. But it was not even in my mind, people. It wasn't in my mind. Because I always known I can only do things for someone who has married me. And that is what I knew. I don't know, but again, that was me.
There was a reason.
There was
a reason, because maybe God.
Thank God huku niacha juu kuona chakula yangu, guys.
I walked by faith.
You walked by faith.
And I was not disappointed. friends, I was not disappointed.
Wow.
She's a very, very good cook. This one.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. One more last point.
Yeah.
Now, when you're marrying or you want to marry a woman, something else you want to find out from her. There are so many other things. Maybe we'll say it in a later video, but I'm beginning with just a few. And one more thing is every man wants a romantic woman.
Romantic. Babe.
Romantic. Oh.
Yeah.
You want a woman who, when you live with, can laugh, can crack jokes with, can have fun with. You want a romantic woman.
Yeah.
But who, when you think about when you're out there,
yeah,
you miss to be back home. So maybe when you look, you would look at her just like I used to look at her. You'd want another one.
What does she know about romance?
What does she
if
know?
Not only Jesus.
Not Jesus, hell, heaven.
We are going someday. Jesus is coming.
Oh,
of
my
course
goodness.
He is. But again,
that I discovered sometimes.
Yeah.
The enemy can misrepresent someone.
The enemy can misrepresent someone. Maybe talk louder.
Let me say this to those who are watching.
Yeah.
Some of you are not married, sisters, or women or men have not married.
Yeah.
Because the enemy is misrepresenting you. When I say misrepresenting, he is creating an image of who you really are not.
Wow.
So when people look at you, the way they judge you is not who you really are. So when they come close to you is when they begin to discover, hey, this one can be like this. So before you judge someone, just get close to them.
Get close to them.
You get to know who they really are.
Baby, am I romantic?
Very. This one. She's overly romantic.
Wow. Okay. Leo hata nimejua zingine hapa. Sikuwa najua. Sikuwa najua. Okay.
So never judge a book by its cover. Find out the content. Stay close to a person. You begin to realize, notice other virtues you didn't see from afar. So when you look at someone from afar, there are many things you can't really lay your finger on. But when you come close to them, there are things you start to pick, and then you begin to note their real virtues, or the real virtues they hold that are very important in any relationship. Because these are the virtues that will lay a good foundation for your marriage. Those ones you can't see them from far.
And I would want to say, when God points a woman to you, God knows the package that he has packaged in that woman. So usianze kumjudge. God ameniambia huyu wife yangu ajui kuvaa, ajui kuongea. You truly don't know that person until you begin living together.
Of course.
You know what I'm talking about. So I think also this video is gonna teach you not to judge a book by its cover. Don't judge people the way you see them outside. And if God has given you a man as well, please don't even me God akiniambia uni hazi yako. Sakangi kuchunguza. Najuanga God is a matchmaker. Anajua kuangalia na huyu anaeza Zainab na Zainab anaeza huyu. So even when God spoke to me that this man was my husband, I didn't want to go deeper. There's something about Bishop I didn't know. You know, Bishop has always been that gentleman that he doesn't talk too much. He's so gentle in everything that he does. And when we were getting married, I was like, huyu jamaa atakuwa tu mpole hivi, atakanga tu hivi na mimi kwa nyumba. Of course, I love a lot of peace. And I love gentleness. It's one of the fruit of the spirit that I love. I was okay with his gentleness. But again, I knew I love fun. I can dance for my husband. I can laugh. I can come on top of him. I can, close his. I love playing. So I used to think, sasa untachezaje na yeye? It doesn't look like he's very, playful. But let me tell you, I also learned something different. This man of God you see here, he will disturb me. Disturb me in a good way. I won't even have peace. I'm like, can you just sit down? Please leave me alone. I want to do something. It's like you have to give me attention. And that time he's asking for attention. You are so busy. And you say, okay, now what do you want? I was like, I didn't know he was that cheeky. I didn't know he was that playful. I didn't know he was fun to live with because he was always quiet. Another thing I didn't know about him was that I didn't know he was a tough guy. Tough in terms of principles, My husband sometimes will sit down. I thought, oh, God has given me a quiet guy, a gentleman. This man is a leader. You know, sometimes he will be so tough on you and tell you, honey, that one is a no. And he will just, his life is governed with principles, you know. I didn't know he was so principled. I didn't know he can get tough on me. Like there's a time he can just be that man, that father, you know, that husband. I've always thought, you know. But when there are serious issues, my husband will tell you, please stop. Stop there. And then he will put sense in your head. And I'm like, what? I didn't know that part of him. Another part of him, let me just say this on this video. You know, when I saw him, I told you guys the way we went through detox. I mean, this one I say, you know me, I can say anything. As you've been following me here, you know. But good things that can inspire you. So I used to think, nilikuwa na mgogo nikiwa mtoi msem bigi hivi. Hizo stories sana haziezi sana. You know what I'm talking about? But I found it was something that people spoke that was not real. So guys, let me say, don't judge a book by its cover. There are people who are so good inside. You might not even find out the treasure they have unless you come closer to them. So I found his treasure when I became his wife. He also found my treasure when I became his
my wife.
My husband.
And I became your husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dogs are confusing me, but these are our neighbors' dogs. Don't worry about them. So guys, did you hear that? So don't judge a book by its cover. You know, don't look at a person who yamjajia mbali. Sometimes bring this lady close to you. You might be shocked what they carry inside. Bring this man first of all. Give them a chance. You know, you might even see them on social media. They are coming to your DM and you're like going through their photos and you're like, oh, me, I don't want this guy. But sometimes you can talk to this guy. Let me tell you something. I didn't know Bishop the way I know him today. Apparently, I thought he was one quiet, boring guy. That is what I thought. But when he came close, I wouldn't even want any woman to come close to my husband. Let me tell you, you know. You know, I'm like, where are you 18? You know why? Because I found out that both of us complement each other. God is like, you know, God matched us so well. He matched us so well. And we are able to live together in peace and joy. And he can take everything from me. I can take everything from him. And I'm telling you, God has helped us. We live a life of peace. We thank God. We don't take it for granted. And we pray for our marriage every day. So guys, this video, the reason why we recorded this video is just to bring it out to you. When this guy DMs you, please go for that coffee date. Get to know this guy. When this lady, you're looking at this lady, you feel like God is telling you this lady is your wife. But the way she does things, sometimes you can't understand. Just take her out for a coffee date. Get to know this person. Because they are good people that people don't see their goodness. And there is something Bishop said that was very, very powerful. He said that the devil can give someone an image so that people can be scared to marry you. And they run away from you, not because you're a bad person. I've always known that I loved marriage since I was a young girl. I loved family. Actually, I wanted to have 8 children. I'm telling you, because I loved a big family. I'm looking on my right, I'm seeing my daughters. I'm looking on my left, I'm seeing my sons. That is the family I wanted to have. But I thank God, possibly God is gonna give me twins or triplets someday. But I'm happy. Amen. I'm happy I married this guy. So yeah, and that is what actually wanted you to know today. Don't judge a book by its cover. You know, my husband keeps on telling me, I thank God, God hid you. I thank God they didn't know who you are. Because me singekuwa na wife sahi. Wangejua vile uko singekuwa na wife. But how many people wanted me and maybe they ran away. They thought, hey, this lady is tough. She's about heaven and hell. You know, it is good. I preach and I'm so passionate about the gospel. I'm passionate about Jesus. But I also balance. I have to be a mother to my son. I have to be a wife to my husband. I have to be this pastor also to people, and a sister and a son and a daughter to my mom. So I have to balance this thing. So thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, kindly press a subscription button. Don't leave this video without subscribing. And we know the Lord is gonna bless you. And please give us a thumb up and also leave a comment. Don't judge a book by its cover. From me and my husband, it is
God bless you.
God bless you.
And see you next time.
Yeah.
Remember to subscribe.
Subscribe.